Okay guys, so the molds have sat for about 20 minutes to a half an hour. I wouldn't say much longer than a half an hour. The clay has, or the plaster has firmed up to where it's not going to fall out or spill out of the mold. It's nice and solid in there. Okay. And it tells you to let it sit for up to, or not up to, but for an hour or longer, depending on the thickness of your mold. Now, this is a pretty thin mold relatively to other molds, but it's also, I let it sit in the mold itself for about 2 hours, just so it could get nice and firm, and I don't have to worry about anything breaking as I pull it out. Okay, so these ones I've already cleaned up, and I wanted to show you a detailing trick to have your filing, sanding, and making sure it's cleaned up around the edges, so when you break it out of the mold, well, not break it out of the mold, like pop it out of the mold, you don't have to worry about, like, if you look around this mold right here, how it's dried, like, you got all this excess around here. Well, the clay or the plaster is still kind of like a soft, damp consistency, to where I use this, and this comes with my Martha Stewart mold kit, and it's got like a fat pointed end and then a super like skinny pointed end here. But a toothpick will work for this technique also if you don't have one of these, or a skewer, anything that comes to like a really good fine point. Like, I'm thinking even like a really fine point embossing tool would work. Like, let's see. Yeah, that'd work awesome. So, but I use this because I keep it with my clay, and it's like my clay pick, you know. So that's what I want to use for this. Okay, so what I do is I kind of like, let me see if you can see. I kind of just do like a soft, fluid motion and try and get underneath the clay around the edge of where the mold begins, and kind of just clean it up and fleck it right off. Like, you see how easy that's coming off? And once it's completely dry, that's how easy it's going to come out of the mold also. And when you do like when you pour it in and put it in there like that, like, it kind of like makes an outline. Like, I don't know if, can you see that outline where your mold is and your edges? So you just, you know, look at the outline and clean up around that outline, and sort of like, you know, just doodling with like your stick to clean it. And just break away all that excess stuff, because it'll come out with your mold, and then you're going to have to worry about like trying not to break your piece sanding it down, like these fine little edges and stuff. Like, see, I did the same thing with this butterfly right here, and like, that's the front, right? Look, see how clean the edges are for that. And okay. See. And most of the time, like, you see how that big piece just chunked off? Like, it'll just chip off the edge of the mold when it's still wet like this. Okay, this one right here has 2 pieces. It's got like a corner bracket in the center. But I'm going to finish, since I'm pretty sure you get the gist of this, and you're not going to want to sit for 20 minutes watching me. And it's not going to take 20 minutes, but watching me clean this whole mold up. So, but yeah, just follow the lines with like a toothpick or something, or your craft pick, whatever you may have at home. And I will see you at the end of the video with the results, okay? Toodles. Hey guys, okay, so I'm back. It's been about, I'd say, 2 hours since I put all this stuff in the mold. And I kind of wanted to show you guys the outcome. And I guess I'll pull this picture frame one right here from the mold. And this is done with strong cast plaster. Okay. This is the one that we colored. I'd never colored the plaster before, so I was kind of curious to how it would turn out. Like, it kind of looks, it's like really, really light pink, but it has some really good detail. I really like how those turn out. And then there's the centerpiece left in there also, or this is actually a corner piece, but it's the center of the mold. And that turned out really pretty also. And the way I showed you guys how to clean up the edges leaves like minimal like cleanup around the edges. Like, I don't know if you guys could tell that's light pink or not. Okay. Okay, when you're pulling these out of the mold, like, a trick is to kind of just like pull on the edges until the plaster kind of sort of releases from the mold itself, and kind of, you know, stretch it a little. I don't know if you could see what I'm doing. Like, you just kind of push, and then it should pop right out. And this is one of like the carnation flowers. It's the medium size one. It came out really pretty. This one isn't so pink. It's sort of more of a whitish. Like, the back is more pink. Like, the plaster pushed the pink to the surface on this one a little. Might have done it on the others, I'm not sure. So, I don't know, maybe painting them is a better alternative than, or mixing them with straight re-inker or something, I don't know. Like, I guess I'll keep playing with it and figure it out, but that's the large one. And here is the little one. But it gets really good detail. I like the fact that they dry. They're not completely dry. It takes up to 48 hours for them to completely dry. They recommend you not paint them until 48 hours after molded. Well, I can tell you now the bird legs didn't survive on this bird either. I kind of had the same problem when I was using Sculpey and even the Martha Stewart clay. Like, the bird legs are just so thin that it don't make it. But a quick sanding and you'll still have a bird. Like, see, I don't know if you can tell, like, see how little them little bird legs are? Like, I don't even know if they'll pop out of here really good to even attempt readhering them with, like, some super glue or something. Let's see. Like, they're just so tiny. Well, I got both little legs out, so I don't know. Maybe I'll attempt to readhere them to the bird. Maybe not. I'm not sure. But these are also really easy to clean. Like, you just scrape the plaster or stick them in a bucket of, like, soapy water. But like I said, don't rinse anything, even the dried plaster, down your sink, because it could clog your pipes really badly. So just scrape them, and then a scrub brush with some water in like a soap bucket, and do it outside or something would be your best alternative. But they're really simple to clean out. See? Okay, those are the ones we did in the silicone molds, and I haven't released this mold yet from the Sculpey. And this is not baked Sculpey. It's still, like, very much, like, soft. But, what's the benefit of using this technique is that you don't have to worry about, like, the mold not releasing properly and breaking it. You just kind of break the Sculpey away from the mold and break it off. Like, I guess you could have, like, try and peeled the thingy off if you wanted to use this mold a second time, but I didn't really want to. But that's how she came out, and I think she came out so pretty. She's gonna need, like, some cleanup work, like, right here and everything, but that's, you know, easily doable with the sanding tools that I showed you. But I don't know. So now she could be painted and added to a project, and she'd be my own creation versus store-bought. So, anyways, that is my mold technique, and I keep this in just a baggie. And I'm thinking what I'm going to do is, like, I'm going to keep my plaster mold, like, at a separate, like the things, I think I'm just going to use this block right here and here just for plaster, and not use it for, like, making beads or anything, or roses. I'm just going to keep it in here, away from the stuff that, like, this stuff right here, that I'll use for, like, using Sculpey and baking it. And this will be my separate mold stuff. They also have things that is called Magic Mold Putty, where it's like a two-part system. You mix half and half, and you can create your own silicone molds. I'm not sure if those are available in, like, your region of the country, or in your country, period. But anyways, this is one of the fastest and easy ways to do it. If you got something, like, if you can't find a mold in this particularly, but you want to, like, make, like, a piece of jewelry, or, like I did, like, a little porcelain piece, then you could so definitely use this Sculpey technique. So, thanks for watching, and I'm going to put some videos at the end of some videos at the end of the picture. I'm going to put some pictures at the end of the video so you guys could check out and see, like, the detail better than on camera, I think. And I'll see you guys in the next video. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. I love answering all the questions, okay? Toodles. Have a good day.